the beginning of Luke 15, it's recorded that Jesus told this parable. He said, "Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Then he calls his friends and neighbors together and says, 'Rejoice with me, I have found my lost sheep.'" Do you suppose the lost sheep was the best of the flock? Was the lost one the smartest, the best behaved, the prized one? I suspect the lost one was the dumbest, most disobedient one. Probably even the mangiest, ugliest one. Anyone know sheep like that? Are you sheep like that? So you have 99 perfectly good, obedient, disciplined sheep. Couldn't we do without the bottom 1%? Shouldn't it simply be survival of the fittest? I mean, let the rotten one go. Let it be an example that might help keep the rest in line. But no, the Good Shepherd leaves the 99 in favor of the one and finds it. Jesus said he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Now, I don't know how many times I've read this account, but I'm sure it is many, many times. And when reading this, I tend to have this picture in my mind. You know, it's a cute little lamb, a really happy shepherd that looks a lot like Jesus. A shepherd that's so overjoyed that he hoists that sweet, formerly lost lamb onto his shoulders out of pure joy. But I'm afraid the picture in my mind is just a bit romanticized, not all that aligned with reality. First off, well, it doesn't say anything about a lamb being lost. We're still talking about sheep, a dumb, disobedient one at that. Now, I don't know a whole lot about sheep, but I do know this: sheep stink. And I don't know which part of the sheep is stinkiest, but I suspect it is positioned pretty close to nose level if you hoist a sheep upon your shoulders. I mean, I don't care how happy you are. I don't think joy would drive you to putting such a smelly animal up on your shoulders. But it was common to carry sheep just like that. It wasn't driven by joy. It was driven out of necessity. You know, once a sheep wanders off, nature kicks in. Do you hear that, lost sheep? Sheep aren't meant to be alone. And when they get alone, they freak out. Yeah, they freak out. They panic and often get themselves all the more lost and all the more worked up. It turns out that you don't normally find a lost sheep dancing in the daisies, but collapsed, exhausted in every way because they could not deal with being lost. The lost sheep not only needs to be found, it needs to be carried back home to safety. Know any sheep like that? Are you a sheep like that? Truth is, we all are sheep like that. We all need to be found and carried home. And that is precisely the cost that Jesus, our Good Shepherd, is ready to pay. It says, "I tell you, in the same way, there will be more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who do not need to repent." The found ones, needing to be carried home. These are the ones over whom all of heaven rejoices. We need to be sure to think of ourselves as the found ones, needing to be carried home. We are costly in that way. And furthermore, when going about kingdom work, we need to think with that shepherd's mindset, willing to sacrifice to go after the lost one, even when it's their own dumb and disobedient fault. And once found, know that they'll need to be carried home, not only by Jesus, but by those purposed to join him in his redemptive work.